Alrighty, fellas. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are we doing today? I see some questions in chat, so we're gonna go ahead and spitfire those. When is the next in-game event? The next big event? Probably the next anniversary event, which might happen around June. If that gets delayed or skipped again, that's like less certain. We'll definitely get a event in October for Halloween. We're very far from any next event. We're finally, guys, this is post-event season. We're free. We have a break, okay? We can do whatever goals we want to work on. We can go shiny hunt. We can go EV train. We can make competitive Pokemon. We can build a new and better gym rerun team, which is something that's on my checklist at the moment. We have a lot of stuff to do. In terms of shiny hunting today, I'm probably going to be sticking to single encounters just since I'm so dry and I'm mentally locked in. I really want to... I have this common pattern where I do 40,000 single encounters and then I go do ×5 hordes for a little bit out of frustrations, and I always immediately get a shiny every time. So I'm just gonna try my best to stick to single encounters and actually get a single encounter shiny. But yeah, it is post-event season. I'm excited. I want to work on a new and a better gym run team and really learn that strategy and eventually do an updated guide on that. I have plans for a... Once raids are brought back and permanently added to the game, I have plans for a... from scratch to completing your first raid challenge. There's so many things on the menu, so many things I'm excited for. Mostly today, though, is going to be Twitch rewards, shiny hunting progress, possibly preparing Jimmy Run Team Pokemon, and then, you know, a little bit of passive of running back and forth in grass in the background. So let's jump into it. One thing I do want to talk about, I do have some money to go pick up over in the GTL, which is honestly super nice. A bunch of little flips and PVM Litwits and Lampwits that I ended up selling off. And then also, I wanted to admit that at least so far, I have been so wrong. Now, not that much time has passed, in all fairness, but I was so wrong on my predictions, at least so far, with the Lucky Red Dragon and the Lucky Gold Dragon. I personally missed out on these as I thought that they would go down a bit after the event, and it's still less than a week has passed, so it's very, very possible they do go down in the coming months a little bit more, and then they will rise over time. Undoubtedly, they're just great mounts. Undoubtedly, they'll rise over time, but it's a matter of what's their bottom out price, and if their bottom out price ends up being the retail of the RP price during the event, or if it goes down after, we'll have to see. I thought enough people would buy them to where it wouldn't, you know, factor in, but we'll have to see, man. What are battle axes? Let's just check the whole, you know, very shortly after the event. Battle axes are 200k. Dragon Wings, things shouldn't have changed too much, but it's cool to see. Dragon Wings are a really cheap price at 100k. How many are listed? I don't think enough people, not nearly enough people, check quantities of listings when doing something like this. When thinking whether to understand where items at the market, to understand whether or not to invest in it, checking the supply is super, super, super important. Hey Pat, what do the Twitch drops mean? They're Twitch rewards. So Twitch rewards are a system that I have in place in my channel where I essentially, you earn points just from watching my stream. It's all free, and it's a way for me to allow players to interact with my PokeMMO account a little bit. You can name Pokemon after whatever you want, obviously within certain boundaries. You can get a Patrouski OT Pokemon where I'll mail you a Pokemon in-game. You can get a Patrouski, you know, semi-competitive Pokemon. There's a lot of fun things you can do just from watching the stream for free. Speaking of, we actually have some renames to go ahead and go over. So someone wanted a Garchomp. I have a couple Garchomps, so I don't know exactly which one they specifically wanted, but I'll name the best one. I think this is the best one. He wants it to be the Runer. This was a Treyu. If you're in chat, you can actually correct me. I don't know if I want it to be the Runer or the Runner, but I'm gonna name it like that for now. And then we also have OK Dizzle. I like the naming of shinies after my viewers. I think that's very wholesome. I'm a fan of that. OK Dizzle said, I'll let you pick which shiny, but I want one named after me. How many shinies do I have left unnamed? A lot of mine are named, I will say. You know what? I think of OK Dizzle as a Drudagon. I like him as that. I'll go for that, man. Thank you for the Twitch reward. I'm going to mark that as complete. Someone wanted the Cricketune to be named Jigsaw. Saw is actually my favorite horror movie franchise. Specifically Saw 1 and 2. Like, those movies are just... I'm not a huge fan of gore, and they end up becoming kind of gore fests later on, but the first Saw is a must-watch for anybody. It's a fantastic just film. Great movie, great story. Holy those shinies, I just started playing last week. It's crazy, like, I don't really process. When you, like, grind a lot and you go for a lot of achievements like this, for me, I've seen all of these shinies slowly appear one by one. So when I go back and I see my shiny box, I'm like, oh yeah, it's not that impressive. It's that's just the normal. It's whatever, right? It's kind of like if you know someone, right? Imagine like you have a distant cousin, right? And you don't see him very often. And last time you saw him, he's 5 foot tall. You see him the next time, he's 6'5", and you're like, holy fuck, dude, you are tall. And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, you know, he's seen himself grow that 1 inch every time, so it doesn't really seem crazy to him. So I don't know. For me, it is interesting to see. I appreciate the compliments. It's interesting to see like the dynamic of like, I don't think of this as anything special. If anything, I think I'm behind because I know people who have hundreds of OT shinies or 50 OT shinies or, you know, 8 egg shinies. I only have 2 rare shinies. I only have Rampardos and I only have Shuckle, and I have 1 secret shiny only. You know, I feel like I'm always behind, but I guess that's what keeps me shunting. So I don't know. It's a good thing and a bad thing. Someone wanted to name this year's Shaymin. Let's see where that's at. Do I have both of them named? No, neither. This one's not named. So we'll name the old one. Actually, because it's 6 times 31 and perfect and everything. Thank you for those bits, by the way. Lock Collar, how you doing, dude? He wanted to name this Scuffy. It's kind of a cute name for Shaymin. Patrouski, how would you score the Lunar New Year event out of 10? I think I ended up giving it a 9 total score. It was a really good event. Raids really were phenomenal, and I feel like we're phenomenally balanced and very accessible. My biggest gripes were really just the I can nitpick all day, but I should go over the positives a little more aggressively. Raids were fantastic. All the event activities were pretty fantastic. I think the Vanities were some of the best we've seen in any like event ever. Like that collection of incredible Vanities was super good. Dragon Wings, Battle Axe, the Lucky Dragon mounts. Like, dude, they were seriously really yeah. It was a very good event. I heard really good things about Abundant Shrine, even though I didn't really participate in it personally. The swarm grind rebalancing mid-event was a little frustrating, but still was mostly fine. I think was handled decently well. The biggest gripes, Mysterious Cherish Ball is the biggest negative of the entire event. I just don't like Mysterious Balls. I think they're bad for the game and hurt shiny integrity. However, they're very fun, so I super get it. What else? There was like one other thing. And then the lack of flexibility, the forced cooperative play from raids, but I think that's kind of fine. But the lack of being able to double queue or triple queue or like solo queue into raids in a way that is more having to rely on that is a little frustrating, but some content I think should do that. So I give it a 9 out of 10 total score. Really the biggest negative being another Mysterious Ball being added. That's always gonna lower the rating a little bit. Pat, what's your least favorite shiny? I think this Pelipper. This Pelipper or this Grimer, which no, this Grimer. So there was this Grimer, which I got 80,000 encounters dry after doing 70,000 or so single encounters, and also like 8,000 or so Cranidos encounters. And then I got this in like 2,000 encounters, and I was fuming. And then Pelipper, same situation. I had locked myself in single encounters and egging only for Cranidos for like 6 to 8 months. Not joking. And then I went to go, when Moxie Pinsir got released, I went to go XP train 1 Moxie Pinsir to level 50 to use it for competitive for a video, and I got this within like 600 encounters. And this was after locking myself in single encounters and doing Cranidos encounters, thousands of them for 6 to 8 months. This is easily my least favorite, actually. Fuck the Pelipper. I'm sorry. I really hate him. How many shinies do you have? A lot of shiny questions today. I have some that aren't in my box that are my OT. The ones at the bottom aren't my OT. But other than... Shit, this should be all of them. So what is this? 36? 36 OT shinies. What was the most annoying Pokemon to shiny hunt out of them on this list? Ooh. Most annoying. I mean, I guess the Pelipper, but that was an accidental. A lot of them were accidental or whatever. The Miltank was annoying because I got 3 rats on the way to it. Back when it was 50-50. Most annoying shunt. That's a tougher one. Most annoying. Shuckle would have been annoying, but I got lucky on it. Cranidos was the frustrating. It was very long. Most annoying's a tough one. I've gotten 2 Minchinos on the way to Trubbish. Those are both fails, so that's annoying. I've had a lot of fails, honestly. A lot of extreme good luck and a lot of extreme bad luck. The Jinx was annoying because I got it like 9 encounters off stream. I shiny hunted so much for a Delibird on stream that I failed with the Jinx and like 9 encounters. Lunatone was annoying. This was in a this was when I was single encountering for a Bagon, and I got this in a ×5 Horde wild encounter, like while single encountering. All right, let's go. I'm getting so distracted. Let's collect our Pokeyen. Gonna put us up to at least 4.5, which is pretty nice, and then finish off a little few more of our Twitch rewards. We've got the Shaymin done. We have our Moltres. Someone did rename my Moltres, which I caught very recently, which I'm super lucky I actually ended up even getting. They want to name that Miss Buds, which is after, for those who don't know, my favorite food of all time. Great name from Rumel. Miss Buds Chicken Pot Pie is my favorite. The frozen, it's incredible. If you haven't tried it, if you have it near you at a grocery store, Miss Bud's Chicken Pot Pie changed my life. Incredible. Where's my sponsor, Miss Bud? Seriously, it's my favorite food in the whole world, unironically. That's the dream, is to one day get a Miss Bud sponsor. What's your favorite money making besides flipping? I really enjoy, this is not that good of money, but it's not that bad either. I really enjoy making competitive Pokemon, especially like not that like semi-competitive Pokemon. So what I mean by that is something I would do, and it's really fun. It's really satisfying. Is I would go to the GTL, look up 20 plus in every stat, and I would just sort by the lowest price. And I would try to find a Pokemon with a usable nature, and like that's also a physical. Like all the Litwick is like not a physical attacker, so you can't really grab that. But like for example, this Swinub, naughty nature is like somewhat usable. It's tough to lower the defense on a. This would be a good Mamoswine. It sucks to lower the defense without edge moves, though. You might want to breed it, but it's a great example of a semi-comp Pokemon, right? Mostly usable nature. It's 2k, so I would buy this for 2k. I would EV train it, XP train it up to 50, and then I would just sell it as a competitive, probably Mamoswine. Piloswine, you want the defenses. I would sell it as a Mamoswine for like 50k or so, 60k. Nothing crazy expensive, but I'm taking, you know, it cost me 2k, and I'm making a really nice profit on top. It's not the best Pokeyen per hour, probably around 150 to 200k, but it's not bad, and it depends obviously on the deals. But it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy taking what like mediocre Pokemon and making them usable and providing competitive Pokemon to new players who are trying to test teams and stuff. Have you ever lost a shiny, fled/killed? No, luckily not yet, but I should have. I should have lost my Shuckle. It stuck around for 4 turns, which is insane. I think it has a 33% or so chance to flee at the end of each turn. So it stayed 3 times with that 33% chance. Do the math. Should have lost that. My Golurk, I played really poorly, and I let him use Curse against me twice, which almost killed him. And then, what else? My Hoppip, I was not prepared for. I did not realize that Hoppip, post-generation 5 or 4 or whatever, I was not used to these new moves. This thing had Rage Powder. This thing had Memento. When I came back to PokeMMO, I went straight to hunting Hoppip because I had hunted it for a long time, and I did not realize that with the additions of Gen 4 and Gen 5, it changed this Pokemon drastically, and I probably should have lost my Hoppip. All right, how is the 2012 market? I've been sitting on a lot of 2012 mons. I'm in an awkward spot. Ooh, it's rebounding. That's what ooh, this is 1x31 though for pretty cheap. I feel like people are just caring less and less about a one-time, which is honestly fair. I don't think there's that many collectors specifically going for a 1x31. I mean, yeah, understandable. This Carvana is kind of interesting though. I don't think Carvana was an easy to get. I don't think Carvana was an easy to get 2012 Pokemon. Let's see how many are on the GTL. 1 for 200k. I'm actually going to buy that. I don't remember Carvana being like an easy to acquire 2012 Pokemon back in 2012. I'm going to buy that up and just sit on it for the time. A lot of 2012s I'm just sitting on. Well, to be fair, it's in my PC now, so I might go for a list. Or to my, I try to keep stuff in my mail to where it's not taking up store. These are 2012s I bought recently for cheap prices. I like the small OTs. They don't really matter much, but I like them personally. I'm going to start working on my... So I've been passively working on my 2012 collection in the background, but that is a little bit of a hush-hush. But let's I don't want to drive the markets up too much before I get my collection going. Carvana. Here it is. I'm just gonna list this for like 400 to 600k. Because there's no other ones on the GT. I don't remember it being super easy to get. I'm gonna go 600 on K. I don't really know how rare it truly is. I'm just kind of throwing it up there. 2012s are so much intuition and so much guesstimations based on if you played or not in 2012 to understand it. I played in 2013, so I know a bit, but definitely not all of it, you know. I did forget to check Cherish Ball prices. I checked a lot of other the Vanities, but I did forget to check Cherish Ball. How's Cherish Ball doing? Around the same. Yeah, around that 63k or so price point. Hey, Pat, would you say Mamoswine's a good Pokemon to breed for profit or at least breed for events? Mamoswine's a fantastic, underrated PvP Pokemon. I really like Mamoswine. He constantly kind of weaves in and out between OU and UU. Let's see where he's at right now. So right now he is in OU with a 54% win rate. That's really solid, man. He's an awesome Pokemon, hyper offensive, can set up Stealth Rocks, can run Focus Sash, get those Ice Shards off to priority like OKO, one-hit KO a lot of dragons like Garchomp and Dragonite, etc. Or at least, you know, pressure Dragonite down from multi-scale, which is huge. I love Mamoswine. He's an awesome Pokemon. Really, really cool Pokemon. But he probably can be pretty good to breed for profit because Swinubs and Piloswines, I assume, are just super cheap because people don't think of them as, you know, being that good. Obviously this is a special attack stat, so it's whatever, but yeah, I bet you could absolutely make a fair amount for it. Just depends on the market. You have to just double check stuff, but I'm sure it's solid. Fun fact, Mamoswine is the only ice type to be on a top 8 team in VGC. Yeah, that's some awesome news to hear, Ferry. I appreciate it. I love to see the ice type succeed, dude. Ask you again, I don't think you saw. Yeah, where can I check the percentage chance of Hordes? You said Carp / Dratini is 80-20. Wanted to know Gligar / Amoonguss. Gligar / I think is 50-50. I wish there was a better list. I did a video testing new Horde changes PokeMMO. I did a video testing a lot of them when that change happened. But yeah, testing the biggest nerf change to shiny hunting in PokeMMO. I will link you that video. But other than that, like I don't think there's like I don't believe there's a detailed list just showing all, because most of the splits are 50-50, but some got changed due to the rarity in the of like the single encounter spawn space in the wild. I know like Tynamo is one of the ones that got fucked the most. Which is really sad because I really wanted a shiny Tynamo because it's very rare in Chargestone Cave as a single encounter, so they changed the Horde rarity to reflect that. So I think now Tynamo is like 10%. Versus like it's actually like Electros is now like a pretty rare shiny, which is Electros is a beautiful shiny. So honestly, oh my, look at this. Honestly, I don't mind this being a rare or rarer. Like that's phenomenal. Okay, I have to go catch an Abra for a Twitch reward, and this is the perfect time for me to mention, guys, I think that this might be one of the most OP new player money-making methods right now, okay? And it's a money-making method that I've talked about and that has been extremely good in the past, but right now it's even better than it normally is. Over here, at this location, right? You can pop lures, you can encounter Abras, and you can encounter Squirtles. There's a Squirtle. That's really lucky. If this is a female Squirtle, okay, not quite, almost. Female Squirtles right now, let's double check. They were 25k recently. Maybe they've gone down. Let's see. But they were expensive recently. So they've gone down a fair bit. Still 15k a piece. Like for the cheapest 15, 16k for the cheapest female Squirtle, let alone if you get one with a 31 special attack. Bam, 50k for a 1 times 31. 50. Are you kidding? Right? Like that's nuts. Catching Squirtles here, popping expert lures, catching Squirtles, coming here, catching Abras. What else? There's like a couple Pokemon you can catch here that are just so insane. And you can get here within a couple of hours of playing Kanto, like you're off a fresh account. Get yourself a Butterfree with Compound Eye, Sleep Powder. This is an insane beginner money making method right now. Where can I buy lures? Any Pokemarts. You can just go to the Pokemart in like this city as a new player and go pick them up and come do this. If I were to do a from scratch series, I would immediately start in Kanto and come here to do this and make it. That would be my first beginner money making method. Would easily be this. So I'm just catching an Abra for a Twitch reward. And this is a really good example. This might not sell for too much, this impish nature, which isn't fantastic, but it's not bad. So what this is a synchronized Abra. No stats, no IVs. All it has is a 50% chance to have this ability and then pretty much any decent nature. So let's go check. This might be worth nothing, but let's just double check. Let's do impish. Where is impish at? Why is it so hard to find? Plus I'm blind. Impish. And let's do ability. Can we do has ability? Is that a search option now? Has ability. Synchronize. Perfect. We'll do cheapest price. So easily minimum, this is selling for like 3k or so, which isn't a lot, but like when you're catching things that can 3k for a base price for like pretty much any shitty Abra is going to be great. And then if we scroll back up, if you get like a nature like Modest or Timid or even Adamant, 13k. Also, it's probably more than that because Behemoth's the worst synchronized Pokemon. That's how slow it is. Yeah, it's probably like 13, 14k is fine. Let's do Timid. Just for a synchronized Mon, 8k. Modest. Around 8k, let's say, 5 to 8k. These are really recently listed. Synchronized Pokemon are super... It's so easy to search for them now as well, which is super nice with this new function. Yeah, it's a super great way to make some money. All those Adamant synchronized are mine. You're doing the right thing, man. It's a great money-making method. For those who don't know, people need synchronize for shiny hunts, people need synchronize for other money-making methods, and people need synchronized Pokemon for catch events. It's very powerful to lead your party with a synchronized Pokemon. What it does is it increases the chance of a wild Pokemon sharing that nature, and that's really good in certain instances. I personally have like one synchronized Pokemon for each nature. Like that's just, it's that important to keep around. I have different Kadabras and level 100 Muna, you know, Calm there, like all different kinds of natures that I use for all different kinds of shiny hunts. This actually reminds me of a very funny time. Someone asked, do you ever do trainer runs instead of Jimmy runs? I don't really personally, but trainer reruns are great and I would like to learn them at some point. Trainer reruns, fun fact, have actually been around a lot longer than Jimmy runs. Trainer runs were a thing back in 2013 where they were called island runs because it was only Kanto back then. So what you would do is you would run through islands like 4 to 7. It was the later island. They had like they gave way better Pokeyen rewards. You would run through all of those and you would end up with like 100 to 200k, and that was like insane that was so good back then. I think it was like 100k Pokeyen or something like that. If you did all of them with an amulet, you would like pop an amulet coin or you'd payday or do some weird thing, or wouldn't pop, you would just use an amulet coin because amulet coins were permanent back then. You didn't even have to consume them. But you would do an island run, right? And you would get this Pokeyen. It was just super, super good. And nowadays, it's way different. You do trainer runs and you run around and do it, you know, all over the place, all different regions. It's very, very interesting how trainer runs have been around for a very, very, very long time in comparison to Jimmy runs, which Jimmy runs only really popped up in like 2019, I want to say. Somewhere around that era. Did someone manage to get Shiny Shaymin this year? Dude, not that I saw, which I was really shocked by. Obviously the Shaymin grind is much more difficult than like a legendary grind, so it makes sense we see more shiny like Moltres and Zapdos and whatever. I don't know how if they affected the rates or whatever, but I'm super shocked we did not see a Shiny Shaymin this year. So 2 years, still no Shiny Shaymin that we know of. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. It is one of the few shinies that exists in all of Pokemon that no one has, which is crazy. It's always fun when I get to do a breed for a Twitch reward when they send you the Pokemon, because like I technically have a chance here for a Shalfa because he sent me alphas to breed. And the rule is, if I get a shiny during Twitch rewards, I keep it, but I will make you a new and better Pokemon because you're just sending me the Pokemon to breed. You know, I'm not in the business of giving away OT shinies. I'm sorry, I can't do that. But what I will do. I don't think you're about gender. What I will do is I will breed you a 6x31 from scratch, like at the cost of my own Pokeyen, and really maybe I'll give you a little small reward for giving me that chance, that opportunity to get that you know, shiny or Shalfa. Look at this guy, Kevin Gomes, flexing his shiny type Flosion. It looks really good in the pink of the follower spread is pretty cool, honestly. Pat, are there some hatch locations to eggs that are more valuable? If I hatch an egg with a specific place, will the Mon be worth more? No, I don't think there's a single like location that is actively available in game that would make something more valuable. Certain collectors or certain very, very niche people maybe wanting to pay more, but that's not really like an important thing. If you want to hatch like a shiny of yours or hatch something like that in a specific location to give it more meaning to you, then do it. I wouldn't worry about that for value. The only like hatch location that actually has like value, in my opinion, is like the North Pole. It's no longer achievable. Like the cool hatch locations that people actually have value are ones that are no longer possible, like the North Pole. The North Pole was a location that was available during Christmas events years and years and years ago, and it's no longer in the game. So niche things like that are kind of desired by a decent amount of collectors, but even then that's gonna be a tough sell to really get to someone. But yeah, other than that, anything you could hatch right now at a location, I would aggressively doubt it's worth anything extra. Yeah, I've been thinking about this a lot recently, and I'm come to this skepticism of whether or not it's actually worth to egg hunt for a Pokemon like Charmander. So for those that don't know, Charmander is Single encounter, lore, shiny, right? 5% chance to encounter it. That's it. Very, 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 very low. So usually the thought process is to egg for a shiny like this. And if you egg for a shiny something like this, like you're guaranteed to like get Charmander when you get a shiny. But let's go by averages, right? So on average, you have a 5% chance to get Charmander. What is it? What was it? So it's 20 shinies, I believe, before you get Charmander. I think that's the math, right? 100 divided by 20 would be 5, right? Yeah, okay. So 5%. So I believe you would get 20 shinies on average. You'd have to go 20 shinies before getting a Charmander on average. Let's just do averages. So that's going to take you 20 shinies times 100 hours per hunt. 2,000 hours. So 2,000 hours to single encounter shiny hunt for a Charmander on average if you single encounter for it. It's also going to cost you 15k per hour in expert lures. So you end up with 30 million Pokeyen spent, 2,000 hours, and 19 other shinies, which is kind of cool. But if you egg hunt for it, egg hunts are kind of seen to be around 2,000 to 4,000 hours, probably around 2,000 hours average, let's say. It's really tough. The issue is it's really tough to guesstimate egg hours because there's such a complex thing. But I would say around 2,000 hours for an egg hunt, and then it also costs you 120 mil. So I've reached this point of like I don't even know if it's worth to like egg hunt for things like this. But maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I'm missing. Maybe I'm drastically misunderstanding the time it takes for an egg hunt. Maybe they're not as long as I think they are, and they just feel really long. Also, it's demotivating for people to like get failed shinies, so that's something to consider. But I don't know. The longer I've thought about this and gone over the math, I kind of feel like it might be worth for more people. It might not be that crazy as people think, I guess, to just single encounter lore hunt for a shiny. All right, didn't end up with a Shalfa. Can you believe it? But it is a great little stunky. We're going to send over back to Ash Scrappy Coco. Thanks for letting me do a breed like that, man. That was fun. Somebody requested a Lumineon as a Twitch reward, which is crazy. I don't think I've ever seen anybody care about this Pokemon ever. Since this guy likes Lumineon so much, I'm going to try to make him a good Lumineon. Now, we're going to pick up this magic. Only 8k. Easy peasy. We're not going to be, what's it called? We're randomly rolling the nature, so hopefully the nature comes out okay, but I do need, what brace? A defense brace, I believe, for this. So we're going to rock this on top of the carp. I can't do this kind of thing for every breed, otherwise I'd run out of Pokeyen really fast, but this is a fun one. This Lumineon should come out pretty solid with my OT. Wait, oh shit! Wait, this Finneon came out bold, which is actually so good. Wait, this is actually a bomb. Okay, I'm so glad I made a great Finneon for that Lumineon guy, just out of pure dumb luck. Pat, will the Temporal Cape price fall down? I can't predict the future. I don't know for sure, but I would guess unlikely. I think an item like this, even if there's not that much demand for it, the way to think about it is like, even if there's not that much demand for it, I think it's a pretty cool cape, and it's extremely expensive right now. Obviously, it wasn't ultra rare. It was very unopened, like the Lucky Reds, and they were very expensive. I know Ruma opened a ton, but I don't think it's similar to like the White Rabbit plush is the best, which did not drop. It's still strong. Like, look how low the supply is. There's 6 on the GTL, and Temporal Cape there's like 11, and it's just, even if, the way to think about it is, with the supply that low, how many people play PokeMMO every single day? Probably 100,000, maybe more. Probably like 1 to 300,000, something like that. Like log in every day. Maybe I don't know, but maybe a lot more actually. I'm not sure. It's tough to tell with numbers like that, but even if like 20 out of those hundreds of thousands of players really want a Temporal Cape to where they're willing to pay this price, that it holds the price. Like, that's when the supply is this low, the demand doesn't need to be that high. And I think that's the case with a lot of these ultra rares. Now, when the demand is nothing, then you do get a situation like this, where you have Ghostly Lantern, which is an ultra rare that's like 2 mil. There's actually 1 mil for a while recently, I feel like. This is just not a very, it doesn't stand out as an ultra rare. It's just not very desired. Yeah, I do think this is, do I own one? Because I do think, to be fair, do I own one? I don't think I do. I'll buy one for 2 mil. I do think this event has potential in the future. I think this could be one of those Holly hair clip situations, one of those Vampire Fang situations where some people really like that minimalist aspect. Vampire Fangs have fucking tanked. Holy shit. This Vanity was like 70 mil 2 years ago. I would love to own one of these. This is actually that's a really good price too. Fuck. Do not even have close to 16 mil though, but that would be in cash. That'd be sick to own, honestly. How about a random question, Pat? What do you think is more important, a hat or gloves? Like in PokeMMO, like in cosmetics, I would say hats are more important. However, gloves. So there's not that many glove slot vanities. There's probably less than 10. Whereas there's maybe over 100 different hats to choose from. Definitely over 100, actually. So that's the thing to think about. Is like, there's tons of hat options. They all have to like compete against each other. You can only wear one at a time. Versus glove slots, there's only around 10 or so, you know? So there's only so many you can actually pick, like the Lollipop, the Ghostly Lantern, the Bone, the Flaming Bone. Let's do gloves and let's count. Like 1, 2, 3. The boxing gloves, those are pretty new. Those are cool. 4. I've seen, what, 4 glove slots so far? 5. 6. 7. These are all repeats. Repeats. Only seen 7 so far. Repeats. There's just not that. There's not that many glove slots. There's not that many to choose from. I think these are all repeats. I've only seen 7. There's just not that many to choose from. You don't have that many options, so it's easier to for glove slots to like. If there's one glove slot that is clearly better than all the other ones, it's not hard for that glove slot vanity to go up in price aggressively. All right, only 2 Twitch rewards left. We got a core fish for someone in game named Psychopath, and then a male Lotad. Oh, and we also have, okay, we have my first Patrouski OT semi-comp to do, which is really cool. Fly Happy wanted a competitive Scyther, or a Scizor, which I'm excited to make for him. That'll be cute. What dictates how much it costs to select gender when doing a breed? Sometimes it's 21k, most of the time it's 5k. It depends on the natural wild gender distribution. So certain Pokemon in the wild just have way less females that spawn. So for example, like starter Pokemon, Squirtle, Eevee, these guys have a 12.5% chance for the wild Pokemon to be female, with a like 87.5 to be male. So to like make that actually matter and work, making them female in the breed costs more money as well. Oh my goodness, Kim Kardashian is next to you. That is true, I guess, technically. Kim Kar... Wow. All right, Ninetales and Team Mister just got himself a shiny Haunter, which I think is the best. Is it the best? Ghastly or Haunter? Obviously, Gengar sucks. Ghastly or Haunter? I think I like Haunter, honestly, more. One of the best shinies in the line. Impish Nature is unfortunately not good, but I heard the IVs were insane, and holy fucking shit. Wow. 231. Attacks, obviously not the great, but like, dude, 25 plus and all, 30 attack, that is a pretty freaking phenomenal ×5 Horde shiny. Congratulations, Ninetales. That's sick, dude. Did this Corphish just hit triple protect? Corphish appeared, used protect. My false swipe failed because it protected itself. I used Spore, it used protect itself. I used false swipe. Did this thing just triple protect against me? That was crazy. He's actually outskilling me. All right, with this Corphish being sent over to Psychopath, this is the last main Twitch reward. The last one I have to do is someone did request a Patrouski OT semi-comp. It was a Scyther. All the limitations were listed in my mail. Let's go ahead and go check. We finished that. I didn't even use this for Moltres. Thank you, though, Solaris. There's so many things. I have to do a mail episode, a mail time with Patrouski at some point to clear all this out. Let's see if I can somehow got Scizor, 2x slower 1 speed, attack, 20 to 25 plus all defenses, adamant if possible. I'm gonna try to work on this. What item is that item that you have 1,075 of? Oh, it's a very powerful, very good, useful item. Damp Rock. No, this item is worthless. I mean, it's a good item, and it's used a lot. It extends the amount of turns that you set up rain or whatever, but wait, what? Okay, I actually just made the best investment of my entire PokeMMO career. What? I bought, okay, for reference, I bought all of these Damp Rocks as a meme when they were like 200 Pokeyen or less. All of them. So, If I spent 200 on 1,075 damp rocks, I spent like 215k on them. But now it's worth like what, over a mil? That's actually kind of crazy. Sell it for 800? Why would you undercuck yourself? Oh my god, no. When they're selling for 1150, don't do this. Don't be this like new player who's so desperate for Pokeyen that you undercuck price yourself so hard. Just undercut by 1 yen and then sell like a lower amount. Don't do that. Just sell 1,000 of them, so don't list them all as 1,000. Don't list them all at once. What if I were to actually try to sell them? Let me go sell 75. What I would do is I would just sell them like piece by piece, like 50 at a time. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna go sell 75 of them. Just 75 for 1,148 or whatever. That's very funny. I never expected in a million years to make any profit. If these sell, we'll see. That's hilarious. So I'm going to be playing through a Nuzlocke on PokeMMO and recording it. Do you think it'd be worth restarting and streaming it? I think for something like a Nuzlocke, streaming it is really important because it shows more authenticity. It's much easier to fake a Nuzlocke by like spending your Pokeyen on XP candies or rare candies or whatever and like trading that over to replace it. And, like, it's easier to cheat a Nuzlocke if you just record it, and people will be more skeptical of that versus if you stream everything or stream most of, hopefully, most hours on that account. Fun fact, if you ever see an egg animation on my stream, it means that I got a shiny, which you'll see me flip out over because there's a setting. This is one of the fastest, where's it at? Yes, this is one of the fastest updates I've ever seen added to PokeMMO in my entire life. They implemented hatching animations like, I want to say a year ago, 8 months ago, whatever. And the community made a forum post like, hey, could you make it a setting so there's hatch animations for only shinies, so you'll only see the hatch animation when you get a shiny. And they added that feature within like 2 days. It was actually, I've never seen them add a feature that fast from community feedback. That was super, super cool. And it's a great feature. Why is Registeel in the Pokedex? There's no way to catch him? Okay, I will say I didn't... Is Registeel actually in the Pokedex? There are some Pokemon in the Pokedex you can't catch. Like or there was for like Reshiram and Zekrom, you can't promote. But I've never noticed Registeel. Is that new? Like, these have been in the Pokedex, Cresselia, Giratina. You can't catch those. Did they add the Regis? I don't see Registeel. It's possible. So what happens is if you run into these Pokemon in the wild through various means, has Registeel been in the game for a while? So you might be able to encounter Registeel via certain gym reruns. That's how, like, well, now obviously you can catch and own Moltres, but before that you could actually find Moltres in the game by battling Blaine. He would sometimes have like a Moltres or a Zapdos or Articuno during gym reruns, so people would have different seen Pokedex entries due to that. I've never seen Registeel personally, which is super interesting. That's cool. You can see the Regis in the Battle Frontier or Jimmy Runs. Okay, so they're not... Okay, and Heatran, so they're not new. That's cool. That's cool. Interesting. That's a cool extra completionist thing to really shoot for. All right, here you are, Fly Happy. Thank you for the fun request. That was a cool one, man. Here is your... Why give me a Shuppet? You should just keep this, dude. Appreciate it, though. Here is your Scyther, man. Hopefully you enjoy. All right, and with that, we are officially finally done Twitch Rewards. It only took me 2 hours and 50 minutes just to do Twitch Rewards today. Wow, I was extra slow. Wow. There's two options here. I could work towards that new, fresh, spicy Jimmy Run team and learn about that, but I don't know if I have the mental energy right now to really push into that. So what I'm just going to do is we're going to go single encounter shiny hunt over in that Sudowoodo spot in Sinnoh, which is just phenomenal. I think this is all I need over at that, so I can bring a Fletch Shiny as well, but this should be all I need. Swarm Pokemon, catching Pokemon, high-level Ghost type, and then Damp Pokemon in case of like a Shiny Jude or some of this. What's this? What's up, man? Menacing Spirit. You should... I appreciate... This is a nice... This is, like, worth... You should just keep this, man, if you're just giving me a gift. It's like a 70k particle, man. It's a pretty cool one. I appreciate it, man. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much for that, Sour. I will say, if I'm going to go single encounter, I probably should get a Thunder status. But I'm in the business of saving Pokeyen at the moment. Obviously, it's more beneficial to if I'm shunting a decent amount, but I am, yeah, right now I'm honestly more focused on saving Pokeyen. I am totally down to just dodge. I want to also encourage people, you don't have to shunt on dinner status, on charm. I'm really lucky that I have the financial means in-game nowadays to do so a lot of the time, but you really don't have to. For most of my shiny hunting career, I did no donor status, no charm, no nothing. Like it's very normal, and most players shunt and should shunt off of bonuses. Like, it's just the 1 out of 30k flat rate is super fair. I feel like it's been a while since I've explained this spot, so for those who are new and haven't seen me single encounter shunt in this location, there's so many good Pokemon here. This spot has 4 rares, probably one of the best single encountering spots in the entire game. Here there is, if you pop an expert lore, there is Breloom, Mr. Mime, Sudowoodo, and there's one more I'm forgetting. Breloom, Mr. Mime, Sudowoodo. What's the last Pokemon I'm forgetting that's here? And Scyther. Yes, thank you. Scyther, Breloom, Sudowoodo, Mr. Mime. A lot of great rare shinies here. Yeah, and Cricketune. Cricketune's not a rare, but he's like a uncommonish. He's a great looking shiny. I'm curious as to what permanent raids will give as a reward. We really don't know. I mean, before it was just the dead flowers for the Shaymin encounter. I can't imagine. It's possible they do incorporate it. They do. It's possible they do incorporate it with something like legendaries or change the way that legendaries are caught or received. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know what, nobody knows what the permanent raid reward will end up being. How long do you think it would take for you to go from 30k to 1.5 mil right now after unlocking breeding? I have a video on my channel called, Road to 1 mil Pokeyen in 1 day, and that was from scratch. So that was like, create an account, speed run the storyline to 4 gym badges and make some money in the meantime. And then I reached 1 million Pokeyen in what, 14 hours? And that was from scratch on a new account. If you had an account with the storyline done and you were going 30k to 1.5 mil, easily could be done in a day. Easily 10 hours or less. There's so many ways to make Pokeyen and PokeMMO. You just have to be willing to put in the time and the effort and do the research and try to acquire the game knowledge. All right, 30 seconds or so on this shiny charm. Thank you again, Spooter Guy, for offering me the spot and for shunting with me. That is where I'm going to call it for today, guys. I really appreciate you watching on this Monday morning. Hopefully you enjoyed. Like the video if you did enjoy it. It helps me out tremendously. Dislike if not. That's totally okay. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos. I do upload at least 1 video every single day. And then I stream on Twitch and YouTube Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's linked down below if you're interested in that. And if you want to go above and beyond and support the channel financially, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, PayPal donations, all that stuff just helps out tremendously. Couldn't be here without you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and have fun playing PokeMMO. Chill out a bit, relax, work on stuff you weren't able to during the event. It should be a fun time. I'll see you guys later. Peace, Reno.
Yo, what's up? I just want to quickly say thank you so much for watching the entire video. That's very, very cool of you. And it's even cooler for all of these people to go above and beyond and support my content. I couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much again.